Mike Brown is now in charge of the Knicks roster. Here to talk about the move is the creator of KnicksFanTV, CP the Fanchise. CP, always great to have you here in person.
Kate, finally.
I know, I love it.
Thanks for having me.
You look just as good in person as you do over Zoom. You never know sometimes. Number one, we're going to get into this. What did you think about Mike Brown's introduction to New York? Are the Knicks better off without him, without Tibbs, and with Brown here?
I thought Brown did a good job. He was very measured, and he gave a nice introduction to New York, but he was very careful with his words, Kate. He did not want to overpromise because he's going to be under a lot of pressure to deliver a championship here in New York. So you have to be very careful with your sound bites or else the media will eat you up. The one thing that I thought we heard a lot repeatedly on this press conference was how Mike Brown wanted to work in partnership with Leon Rose. That is one of the key points of emphasis that the front office wanted in their new coach. They didn't seem like they had that there with Tibbs. There was a little bit of friction in terms of them working together. And Mike Brown, they feel like they have the guy that will consult with the front office, take the advice, and work together.
Well, Ian Begley reported today that James Borrego, who Brown was hoping might be his assistant head coach, is staying with the Pelicans. Now, yesterday, reports said that Rick Brunson would take a lesser role with the team. So do you think there will be any issues with Brown and the Brunsons?
No, Rick is a professional, and he's part of the family, with Leon Rose being the godfather of Jalen Brunson and Rick being the father. Rick is a basketball lifer. He's played for the Knicks. He's coached at all levels of basketball, and he understands that he'll do whatever the team needs for him. And for Mike Brown, with James Borrego, it seems like they were really looking for an offensive coordinator here to run this Knicks offense. When Mike Brown was the head coach of the Kings his first year, when he won Coach of the Year, the Kings were ranked #1 in offense, but a lot of people give credit to the current head coach of the Brooklyn Nets in Jordi Fernandez. And so it seems like Mike Brown is looking for that next guy to help run this offense, so it'll be interesting to see who they tap for that.
That's going to be really interesting. And you know what? You're right. There are a lot of basketball dads who are more problematic than Rick Brunson, I think.
That's right.
All right, so Tibbs is out. Brown is here. Now, how much do you think James Dolan played a role in this move?
I thought there was a bit of input from James Dolan. He's the owner of the team at the end of the day, right? And so if you're asking him to make a sizable investment in the head coach of his team, he should have some input. And when you look at the Knicks games, whether it's the regular season or the playoffs, James Dolan is right there front and center by that Knicks bench. But I also thought, as I said earlier, there was some friction there between the front office and Tom Thibodeau. So it just seemed like things had run its course over the 5 years and they wanted to move in a different direction.
All right, let's get into the roster a little bit. As of now, they have their key players already set. Who are some of the veterans, though, that you think they might be able to bring in to help put this team over the top?
So the Knicks will have one veteran minimum contract left to dole out to a free agent. I think they need to prioritize a backup point guard position. One guy I would look at is Malcolm Brogdon. He's a career veteran, 32 years old. He can help them as a playmaker, as a defender. What I don't like is he's not that durable, Kate, so it's a little bit tricky there. Another player of note, someone who this town is familiar with, is Ben Simmons. He recently played for the Los Angeles Clippers. He can help the Knicks at 6'9", 6'10", on the defensive side of the ball at the wing position as a backup point guard as well, but I'm not so sure if this is the same guy that was with the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah, all right, a couple of very interesting ideas. We've also got Summer League starting on Friday for the Knicks. Pacome, Dadiet, Tyler Kolek will probably both get a lot of playing time. Do you think either of these guys are going to potentially play a bigger role next season?
They certainly could, and the opportunity is there. For one, Tyler Kolek, as I said, the Knicks need a backup point guard. And so for Tyler Kolek, a good summer league outing could give him some momentum heading into training camp, where the coaching staff and Mike Brown may have to answer some hard questions in terms of who fills that role. Pacome Dadiet, though, Kate, is their crown jewel asset at this point. He's turning 20 years old this year, and he fills a role that is highly coveted in the NBA, and that is at the 3 and D wing. The ability to guard multiple positions, the ability to knock down the three. Pacome Dadiet needs to have a strong showing in Summer League because his position is going to be very valuable for this team.
Excited to see him this summer and also next fall. As we know, the East is looking like it is wide open next season. You feel like the Knicks might be the team to beat?
Oh, no question. They will be right up there with the Cleveland Cavaliers. You'll have to give them some credit. I would not count out the Indiana Pacers. They are a never-say-die team. And you had some other teams that made some moves as well. The Orlando Magic, very impressive all season. But it's right there for the taking for the New York Knicks. A lot will have to go right, but they will be in that mix.
All right, CP, fantastic stuff as always. Make sure you check them out, CP the Fanchise, KnicksFanTV. Thank you so much.
Thank you.